What is going on, guys? Drew YGO back with another deck profile. Today we are doing Melffys. I picked up a couple of Melffy cards in the Hidden Arsenal pack, and prior to the new support that they released, Melffy was okay. They're primarily based around control, interruptions, but they were just missing a few cards that they just absolutely needed. And Konami has blessed the Melffy archetype with a few new cards in Melffy Sealy, Wallaby, Staring Contest, and the new Synchro card, Cheerful Melffys. And guys, it's really propelled Melffys to the next level, I feel like. This deck is so much fun. If you open up with a bunch of Melffys in hand, you can easily swarm the field with a bunch of them. And Staring Contest really allows them to have a little bit more survivability. So we'll get into the deck list. We are running 2 copies of Alpha, the Master of Beasts. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand, while the total attack of all monsters your opponent controls is more than that of all the monsters you control. You can target any number of Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters you control and return them to the hand. Then return face-up monsters your opponent controls to the hand equal to the number of cards you return to the hand. This effect is really good, especially in Melffys, because you're going to be having a lot of them in your hand, and you actually get a lot of advantage from having them in your hand off of Sealy and off of Staring Contest. And it's got a pretty substantial attack value at 3,000, so you'll be able to go toe-to-toe with a lot of your opponent's boss monsters. Next, we're running the 2 copies of Rescue Cat. This is a big combo starter. Rescue Cat into 2 of your Melffys, into Melffy of the Forest Search. You get your Melffy Wallaby, which when it's returned to the hand, you can special summon 2 of your Melffys from deck. So Rescue Cat is a must play in this deck. I wanted to run 3, but 2 I think is the little golden ratio. Next, we got the 2 copies of Ash Blossom. I would like to run 3, but we just didn't have the space for it. Honestly, you could take Melffy time down to 1 and put 3 Ash Blossom, but for right now in this build, we are running 2. Finally, for the Melffy lineup, we have 3 Melffy Pony. All of the Melffys have the effect of if your opponent normal or special is a monster, you can, or if it's targeted for an attack, you can return it to the hand. So I'm just going to read their effect when they're added back to the hand. For Pony, you can add a level 2 or lower beast monster from your graveyard to your hand, except during another copy of itself. And they also all share the effect of during the end phase, you can special summon this card from your hand. So, you can easily see how the swarming capabilities of Melffy is through the roof. Next, we're running 3 copies of Melffy Puppy. Melffy Puppy's effect is when it's returned to the hand, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower beast monster from your deck, except for Melffy Puppy. Melffy Puppy can get your Wallaby out onto the field, can get your Caddy out onto the field, or it can even get your Calantosa, which can pop a card. Because this deck is all about interruptions, having Melffy Puppy, just as a way of getting out a problem card for your opponent, is really, really good. First up for the new cards, we have Melffy Sealy. It's a level 2 beast tuner with the effect of if a face-up beast monster you control other than Melffy Sealy was returned to the hand this turn, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon using only Melffy monsters in your hand, and this card as a material. During your end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a beast Xyz monster you control, attach this card to it as a material. So, Melffys can go into Baron now. That is certainly a thing. And it can go into Herald of Arclight now. So that's a thing, right? Melffy Sealy can provide you a monster amount of interruptions, even with the new Synchro card, which we will get into. Having Melffy Sealy in the hand while you're doing your Melffy plays is amazing. This is a really, really great card for the archetype. It is exactly what it needed. Like I previously mentioned, we are only running the 1 copy of Calantosa, because if it is special summoned by the effect of a beast monster, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Like I said, you can special summon it with Puppy during your opponent's turn to pop a card they control, maybe a combo piece. You can revive it from the graveyard with No, wait. You can special summon it from the hand with Fenny, if you added it to your hand with Caddy. I think just running one is okay. You can very well put this up to 2, maybe even 3. But I wouldn't run it at 3 because it can break up your hand like a lot, so we're only running the 1 copy. Next up, we have 3 copies of Melffy Caddy. Its effect is you can return this card to the hand, then add 1 beast monster from your deck to your hand. It doesn't have to be level 2, so you can add your alpha off of Melffy Caddy, which is what you want to do most of the time. But the other half of the time, you're going to want to add your Sealy to the hand, because if you activate Melffy Caddy in your last chain link and have it resolve first, you add Sealy, then your other one bounces back to the hand. You're now able to use Sealy. Next, we're running the 2 copies of Melffy Fenny. Not 3, because your Melffys can special summon themselves from the hand pretty easily already. So Melffy Fenny is here just for the added interruption of special summoning Kalantosa from your hand if you bounced it back with Alpha. So we're only running the 2 copies because of that. Secondly, for the new line of support, Melffy Wallaby. This card is insane. Its effect is you can return this card to the hand, then special summon 2 Melffy monsters with different names from each other from your deck. And their effects are not negated too. So, off of Wallaby, you can special summon Puppy, special summon Caddy, then your opponent does anything else. Activate Puppy, activate Caddy, add Sealy, Puppy special summons one of your other Melffys, or your Kalantosa. You can then synchro summon with Sealy. That's pretty much the Melffy combo now. But that's it for the monsters. First up for the spells, we're running 3 copies of Obedience Schooled. I thought about running 2 and then adding some more generic spells and traps, maybe a Lightning Storm or something. But Obedience Schooled allows you to special summon 3 level 2 or lower beast effect monsters with different names from your deck, but their effects are negated. If you can get this card off, you can go into your Melffy Mommy and give it 3 materials, which means it cannot be destroyed by battle. And then you can attach more, you can attach more cards to Melffy Mommy using her own effect. Or you can go into your other Xyz plays, or you can even synchro summon. So having Obedience Schooled in the deck is very good. Next, we're running 2 copies of Melffy Tag. You can target a Melffy in your graveyard and special summon it. You can only activate 1 Melffy Tag per turn. It's Monster Reborn for the archetype What's Not to Love. Next, we're running the 3 copies of Melffy Hide and Seek. The first time each beast monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect each turn. It is not destroyed. You can target 3 beast monsters in your graveyard with different names, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. This card is great because it allows you to reset your Melffys back into the deck, and it even allows you to go draw a card off of that. And it gives your Melffys and your other beast monsters a little bit more of added protection. So 3 copies of Melffy Hide and Seek is really, really good. Next, we are running the 3 copies of Melffy Staring Contest. Another new card. You can reveal 1 beast monster in your hand, add 1 Melffy monster with a different name from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if you do, place the revealed monster on the bottom of the deck. You can only use this effect of Melffy Staring Contest once per turn. Now here's the real kicker. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can reveal any number of Melffy monsters in the hand and keep them revealed during the battle phase. Monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to the combined attack and defense of all monsters being revealed by this effect. Not only is this really good protection for the battle phase, but also the concept behind this card is so cute that all of your Melffys run away and then just, like, cold stare at your opponent's monsters and cause them to get scared. Like, that is so cute. That's so funny. This is just a really great card for the archetype. And look at the little bunny on it. It's so cute. Next, we're running the 2 copies of Melffy Time. Detach any number of materials from a Beast Xyz monster you control, then target up to that many cards your opponent controls. Return them to the hand. Also, all Beast Xyz monsters you control gain 500 attack for each material detached to activate this card. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would drop this down to 1 and give myself 1 more Ash Blossom or even 1 more Kalantosa, because this is a pretty situational card. But I am running 2 right now, and it hasn't given me any problems yet. So for right now, 2 Melffy tags, but if you want to copy this deck, you can certainly drop this down to 1 and add another Kalantosa or another Ash Blossom. It is player preference. Finally, for the trap lineup, we are running 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. We are running these because if your opponent tries to use Harpy's Feather Duster on your back row, you can have this as a way to kind of prevent that from happening. So this is just around to really just protect your back row. Alright, and that about does it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. Like I said earlier, Melffys can make Baron now, so we put Baron in there. I have pulled it off. I have Synchro Summoned Baron using Seal and cards in my hand. You have to go minus, like, a lot to do it. I think you have to go -5 with the Melffys to summon Baron, but I only put that in there, again, as a last resort. But a surprise Baron on your opponent's turn is always really funny. Next, we're running the 1 copy of Old Entity Hastor, and 2 copies of the new Melffy Synchro card, Cheerful Melffys. If this card is special summoned, you can target a face-up monster on the field, return it to the hand, and if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during the damage step, or if an opponent's monster targets this card for an attack, you can return this card to the extra deck. Then you can special summon a Melffy Xyz monster from your extra deck. So, if you make Cheerful Melffys with your Sealy, Sealy will be in the graveyard, and you will have an Xyz monster out on the field with no materials, but during the end phase, Sealy can attach itself to an Xyz monster you control. So, that's pretty much the intended combo with it. And also, if you bring this out during your opponent's turn, you can bounce a card back to their hand. Let's say they already use their normal summon, and you use Cheerful Melffys on their normal summon monster. That's just a great piece of interruption. Because it doesn't destroy, it simply moves it back to the hand. You can even use this on an extra deck monster to shuffle it back into the extra deck. So this is just an insanely good piece of added interruption for the archetype, and it's exactly what it needed. I never thought I'd see the day where Melffys could make Herald and Baron, but here we are, I guess. For the Xyz monsters, we're running 1 copy of Zeus, because a bunch of cute forest animals turning into a giant robot is really funny. And also, if you attack with Melffy Mommy while it has 5 materials and it can't be destroyed by battle, you can layer Zeus on top of Melffy Mommy and give it 6 materials, which that in and of itself is also really funny, because that's 3 times you can use Zeus's board clearing effect. So, yeah, we definitely want to run at least one copy of Zeus. Wait, can you even run more than one in the TCG? Yes, you can. But at least 1 copy of Zeus. Next, we're running 2 copies of Joyous Melffys. I think you could drop this down to 1 because I haven't used it that much, but it does have 2,000 attack, which is higher than any of the other Xyz monsters you have. But you can detach material from this card. Your Melffy monsters can attack directly this turn. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target 1 Beast Xyz monster you control, return that monster to the extra deck, then you can special summon level 2 or lower beast monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials that monster had. You can only use this effect of Joyous Melffys once per turn. So let's say you have an Xyz monster that has a bunch of materials. Let's say Melffy of the Forest has 2. You can send it back to the extra deck, and then you can special summon its materials or other Melffys in the graveyard back to your field, and then you can continue their effects as normal, right? So having this in the deck is really good as kind of like a niche option. You could certainly drop this down to 1 and add some Link monsters or whatever, but this is my build, and it's kind of like a painting. Well, not really like a painting, but you get the idea, right? It's your canvas. You can paint on it how you want. This is just a guide. Next, we're running the 1 copy of number 64, Ronin Raccoon Sendayu. This is a really good card for if you already have an alpha on the field and your opponent's board is wiped. You can summon a token that also has 3,000 attack, and you can swing for 6,000, 7,000 damage, including itself. So if you've already dealt a little bit of damage to your opponent, this can be your finishing strategy. Xyz summoning number 64, summoning the token, and then swinging for 7,000 damage. Next, we're running the 2 copies of Melffy Mommy. Again, I think you can drop this down to 1. But, this is a really good card. It requires 2+ level 2 beast monsters. Once per turn, on a quick effect, you can attach 1 beast monster from your hand or face up on the field to this card as a material. This card gains effects based on the number of materials attached to it. 3 or more can't be destroyed by battle. 4 or more, you take no damage from battles involving this card. Or 5 or more, when an attack is... Excuse me, guys. When an attack is declared involving this card and an attack position monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that attack position monster's attack. So, if you got this card on the field with 5 or more materials, which is not very hard to do, you can swing into one of your opponent's big boss monsters and then burn them for that amount of damage. Usually it'll be around 3,000 damage. So, Melffy Mommy is a really good card in this deck because it is very, very easy to get it up to 5 or more materials. So, next, we are running the 3 copies of Melffy of the Forest. This is mainly what you're going to be summoning off of your cheerful Melffys, because you can detach material from this card, add a Melffy card from your deck to your hand. Pretty good. If another face-up Melffy monster you control returns to the hand, except during the damage step, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack. Also, its effects are negated while it is face-up on the field. And if you have multiple of this card, you can negate multiple cards. At least I think. I'm not too familiar on how you can only use each effect of Melffy of the Forest once per turn works, but it does offer a lot of interruption, and even if you bring it out the intended way, you can search your deck for a Melffy card. So you can get your Staring Contest, you can get you can get your Sealy, you can get any of the combo pieces that you may need. You can get Wallaby, which in and of itself is a one card combo. So really good. I run it at 3, but you can drop this down, obviously. And finally, we have 1 Armored Kappa. So that's the deck list, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you would change, what you would take out, what you would put in. And I hope you enjoy the replays. And this has been Drew YGO. Until next time.